I'm the guy that put NATO together, the future. No one thought I could expand it. I'm the guy that shoved Putin down. No one thought could happen. Who's going to be able to hold NATO together like me? If the Lord Almighty came down and said, Joe, get out of the race, I'd get out of the race. The Lord Almighty's not coming down.
OK, let's bring in Bloomberg's Kriti Gupta for the latest then. Kriti, how is Biden polling at this point? What are the poll numbers looking like for him?
Well, the bar for success for this interview with George Stephanopoulos on ABC, Tom, was that he had to close that 7-8 point gap between him and President Trump that followed in his poor debate performance. And he did just that. So by that measure, it is success. But he is still polling behind President Trump in 6 out of the 8 swing states. He's only higher than President Trump in blue states like Michigan and Wisconsin as well. So the polling numbers are looking good. But this is really where his campaign is going to be putting a lot of emphasis for the next couple of days and arguably months going into that November 5th election. The idea here is that they're actually talking about an aggressive traveling schedule over the next few weeks to, one, prove that President Biden is fully capable of executing that, and second, simply the idea that he has a lot of work to do, specifically when it comes to Pennsylvania. That's where he has the largest gap with President Trump, 7 points of a laggard.
Wow, 7 points in Pennsylvania. In terms of the Democrats and the noise that we hear about members of the House and Senate as well, but mostly members of the House, trying to form some kind of coalition to force him out, what is the process there? How challenging will that effort be, Kriti?
Pretty challenging, Tom, and I think it all starts off with just the way that this process works. Look, he is the incumbent. It is a rarity throughout history that the incumbent president on either side of the aisle does not rerun for a second term. That being said, there is a way to do it, but the incumbent has to step down first. And the way it works, going into the nitty-gritty here, Tom, bear with me, is that a candidate has to win the support from the majority of delegates at the Democratic National Committee. Now, there is a story in the bylaws, or some rules within the bylaws of the DNC, that if you are the incumbent, those delegates are already pledged to support you. And in the last year, President Biden has won 99% of the nearly 4,000 delegates. So he's kind of already got it in the bag from the DNC. Any move or any kind of succumbing to pressure really has to come from President Biden. As we heard at the top of the segment, it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon.